AutoZone. Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for loan tool.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to the Cheese Show. And when cheese puts on a performance like this, you might get to the crust and think, it's over. But no. Let's hear it for the Encore Cheese. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, the Papa John's Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza is only $13 and is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Hey, Chandler, what are you up to tonight?
Jenny, it's Tuesday, and I'm going to go sing with DJ Captain Morgan for karaoke at The Buck.
Well, that sounds like fun. I have to work. Well, what are you up to this weekend?
Well, believe it or not, I'm going to go listen to some live music Friday and Saturday night at The Buck.
Live music all weekend long, really?
Yep, all weekend, and they also have the biggest high-definition screen to watch all the sporting events on Sunday Fun Day.
I'm going to have to go check that out.
Yeah, just check out The Buck on Facebook or Instagram for all the information. The Buck.
In studio with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. What's new, Jeff?
For service, we're doing touchless pickup and drop-offs. So when you pull your vehicle in, we greet you at the car and open the door for you, but we're putting plastic on the seats. We're having a steering wheel cover put on. We even have shift knob covers now this year. And then we have the customer actually drop the key in a baggie, and they're the next one to touch that key when it comes out of the baggie when they pick up their vehicle. So just want to make sure we take care of the customers that voted us number one.
Brown & Wood, your number one dealership in Greenville and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
At the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Greenville.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Winslow's Deli and Tavern has a new look, along with a great lunch and dinner menu. Open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner, plus brunch starting at 10:30 on Sundays. Winslow's is located on 5th Street beside the State Theater and features daily drink specials with 2 outdoor patios perfect for this warmer weather. Follow Winslow's on Facebook and Instagram for special events and daily specials. Winslow's Deli and Tavern on 5th Street in Greenville.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. This is Eastern Carolina's longest-running sports radio show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show is powered by Greenville Utilities and also brought to you by
Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, Papa John's, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagler, Tiebreakers, and Greenville Auto World.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
All right, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into our show today. Blake Harrell, defensive coordinator, joins us to wrap up the spring football game. The game ended in a 40-40 tie, but there was some controversy, and we're going to check out the film and find out exactly who won the spring game. Don't give it away now, Coach, but, you know, was there controversy?
Well, I think just wherever you're standing, there's always controversy. Whether it was sideline you're standing on, officials, whoever it may be. So overall, it's good, though.
All right, we'll take a look at that. We'll be back with more on the Brian Bailey Show right after this.
From our floor to your door, Bostic Sugg Furniture has what you need in stock, so you can get your furniture now, not later. Save store-wide, plus get special financing on our huge selection of beautiful furniture from Lazy Boy, Bassett & Rowe. Better sleep starts now on the Arctic Mattress by Serta on a power motion base with 48-month special financing and no money down, plus our exclusive 10-year power base warranty. From our floor to your door, create something beautiful at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Crust is the most important part of stuffed crust. It's half the name. Papa John's crust is made from 6 simple ingredients. 7 if you count all this cheese. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, the Papa John's Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza is only $13 and is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
This isn't your regular cola, so this isn't your regular cola ad. No beach parties or family barbecues here, just Nitro Pepsi, the first cola ever infused with nitrogen. So forget everything you thought you knew about soda, because that nitrogen gives us a whole new experience. Think an infusion of smaller bubbles for a cola that's got a lighter, smoother texture. And don't get me started on the pour. You don't pour this like any other cola. We're talking turn the can completely upside down and watch as those bubbles cascade into the glass to create a frothy, luxurious foam topping. Can your cola do that? I didn't think so. Unless you've got your own Nitro Pepsi, in which case, cheers to your great taste. Because you already know that the only thing better than the pour is the unapologetic cola taste. What else is there to say? From the creamy foam to the smooth texture to its unbelievably delicious flavor, this is cola like you've never had it before. Time to bring your taste buds to the next frontier. New Nitro Pepsi. Smooth, creamy, delicious.
Seared Chop House is Greenville's only true chop house. We're open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Seared combines a remarkable menu with an unrivaled atmosphere. Lunch or dinner at Seared is a quality-driven experience where we highlight a thoughtful approach to locally sourced ingredients and hearty, flavor-rich cuisine. We're firing up the grill at Seared, Greenville's only true chop house, located on Fire Tower Road at Bells Fork. Come see us at Seared for lunch or dinner 7 days a week.
Your first stop for shopping is at Shimmer Boutique. This is Ashley from Shimmer. We are fully stocked with the latest apparel, shoes, and accessories and more. If you need gift ideas or some shopping therapy for yourself, stop by today. Looking for the hottest shoes on the market? Shimmer has the biggest selection of Hey Dudes anywhere. Shimmer has the newest Yeti products and colors. Want this year's most popular bag? Shimmer has a great selection of all your bog bag needs and accessories. Shimmer in Greenville, Winterville, and Jacksonville.
Pirate Radio.
We're going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and older. That's always a good combination.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back on this Monday. The spring football game ended in a 40-40 tie, but did it? We understand that Coach Houston is looking at videotape as we speak right now to try to determine a winner. A lot on the line. The winning team gets steak and shrimp. The losing team gets beanie weenies. If it's a 40-40 tie, my question on Saturday was, are you guys all eating shrimp and steak, or are you guys guys eating beanie weenies. But that answer never came, and we're still awaiting word because the last play of the game was actually a loss, correct? And if that's a loss, then that's a point.
I think there's probably some debate on that as well, but there's only one man's opinion that matters, and that's Coach Houston. So at 5:30 this evening, we do our winners dinner. We'll find out what we eat. So,
and the losers also have to serve the winners. That's part of the deal too. So I got a feeling if they call it a tie, that coaches may have to go in there and serve everybody.
Yeah, maybe the coaches eating beanie weenies and all the players get the steak, and the coaches are serving everybody, which is all right too. We need to serve those guys at some point too.
We've got our Facebook Live feed up. If you have a question or comment for Blake Harrell, defensive coordinator at East Carolina, be sure to jot those down. We'll get those to the coach during this next hour. But when you look at the spring game itself, you guys had to be very, very pleased. We were joking about it, that it almost seems like the point system is kind of out of whack when you do something like that, because you guys were dominating the game, and then it was a close game late, and next thing you know it, we had a tie.
Yeah, there's 1,000 different ways to do a spring game, I think, and just what you really want to go out there and do is be competitive, and watch your guys play hard, and that's kind of what you evaluate as coaches. Are we playing with a great effort? Are we playing physical? Are we playing the game we want to play, and the culture that we want to bring that Coach Houston's established? And I thought for the most part we had some guys flying around and trying to do that, and it was really good to see and see them do that. And the scoring in a spring game, nobody ever remembers that anyway. So as long as we're getting better and finding ways to beat NC State come September, that's what we're looking forward to.
When you look at a game like that, and I know some folks like to see a lot of offense, and I thought the Pirates' best chance to make a big play was the very first play of the game. That was close, but really these spring games are usually the keys are you want to show great effort, and you want to stay healthy, and you don't want to show anything off because obviously NC State's going to be looking at a lot of that too.
Yeah, that is very true. You kind of keep it vanilla, so to speak, and very basic. And you're right. The very first play of the scrimmage had a chance to be a home run ball, and I think there's a couple more there that if we just don't play, if we're a step behind, are probably home run balls as well. So defensively, we're good that those didn't hit, but we're close, and we got to make sure we don't give those plays up. And just like you said, we played with pretty good effort throughout the day, and just happy to see some guys go out there and perform.
I was standing on the offensive side during the game, and they were like, "Man, this is not right," because we call a screen pass, and there's more people on the defense that knew it was a screen than our guys in the huddle knew it was a screen. There's a lot of that going on, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the advantage you have. It's almost like a bowl game in that aspect. You play in 14 practices against the team you're going to go play, and you've seen that look several times throughout the spring, and our kids do a pretty good job of picking up on stuff like that.
Well, that was a lot of fun. I think a lot of the guys enjoyed it. If it had just been like today, it would have been so much better. It was a little chilly out, and but really for the spring, you guys had pretty good weather.
It has been a great spring. Yeah. There's a few practices there. I think we have one that we had to cancel because of lightning and thunder, and we're going to get that. And you'd love to have an indoor for those reasons, and we had to move it around. But for the most part of spring, it's been pretty good weather. And even Saturday, I felt like it was a pretty good day because I was up in the box and really nice and comfortable up there.
Yeah, I bet you were. When you look at this Pirate defense and what you were able to accomplish this spring, what were some of the things your goals for the spring, and were you able to accomplish all those?
Yeah, I think the big key we talked about defensively is we lost some guys.
Yeah,
they were very productive for us. Ramser, Bivens, Warren Saban, DJ Ford, Jaquan McMillan, and so on and so forth.
And those guys had been around for a long time.
Yeah, and they'd played a lot of football.
Yeah,
and a lot of valuable snaps, and been very productive. And we talked about we got to have guys step up individually and improve their game individually, but as a collective whole group, who is going to make up that production? It's got to be all of us together, and then build our depth with some other things we tried to improve this spring. And I think we did those things, and we saw some guys that we didn't know about before the spring that kind of stepped up, and you think, hey, this is a guy we can go win games with. This is a guy we can depend on, come game time to play some valuable snaps. So just we still got a long ways to go before September. And if we can make those same jumps this summer and in fall camp that we made this spring, then you feel like you're giving yourself a chance to win next fall.
What happens now as far as the players go, and you guys will get them back, say, the first week of August?
Yeah, so their schedule for the next couple of months is, they'll be in the weight room the next few weeks and really finishing up strong academically. Then they'll get about 10 days off, I think, in May. Then they come back and they're in that summer program. And I think some of the rules are kind of changing this summer where you might be able to be a little bit more hands-on.
Good.
A few more walkthroughs in June. So June will be weight program, maybe some walkthrough meetings type thing. July will be similar, and then come August is practice. So it never really stops for those guys, but they're always finding ways to make themselves better and make our football team better.
Will you have camps this year? And did you have them last year?
Yeah, we had prospect camps last year for the first time. You could have kids on campus, and we'll do that again this. I think we got about 5 or 6 scheduled, and it's just a good opportunity to get kids from all over, not just East North Carolina, but really the Southeast. I think we had 100 plus at each camp last year, so that's a bunch of young men on our campus.
And you get some youth camps too, right?
Yeah, that's always
always fun.
The junior Pirates, which is always a lot of fun, and just those kids being able to come out and see what our players go through, see our facilities, and then get coached by our coaches as well. And some of our players will be around for that. So, we got a lot of good things in June. I think the ladies' clinic's coming up in June as well. So it's going to be a busy month.
Yeah, and I tell you what, you hit June, and for us, it's kind of like June and July are our slow months. But once you hit August, and you guys will be busy, you get a couple of weeks off late July, right? You guys take a little bit of time off then?
Yeah, so June is your month that it's not a dead period. Kids can be out in eval period. So that's when the camps are. Then that goes kind of dead at the end of June. So you get a few weeks there off from recruiting. And as coaches, you try to step away, catch your breath, refresh a little bit before you get going in August.
Last season, the Pirates won 5 of their last 7. I know one of the themes this spring has been when we get to September, we've got to get off to a better start than we have. What are some of the things you guys have worked on, to make sure you get off to a better start? And it's going to be difficult, obviously, with NC State coming to town, one of the best teams they've had in years.
Yeah, and I think, one thing for me defensively and for our unit defensively is just having a better identity of who we are going in. I think coming off of 2020, going into 21, we were playing some new guys, some new spots, and didn't have a true identity. And I think that identity came around about game 4 or 5 of feeling, hey, maybe we're more of an odd front, 3-man front than we are this, and maybe we're going to give up with less explosives if we play this coverage. So we got to, I think we're ahead of where we were this time last year, so that's going to help out. And just we got to put our foot to the gas pedal and be ready to go come September. And like you said, you don't want to start at that same start we had last year.
Yeah. When you play a team, like an NC State to start, does that help out with summer conditioning, summer practice? Because, the light at the end of the tunnel, sometimes it's a train, and maybe it is a train, but still you see that carrot because camp is grueling. It's so very difficult for the coaches, for the players, for everybody. But when hey, September 3rd's coming.
Yeah, September 3rd in Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium,
right.
And NC State, a top 25 team who's a really, really good opponent. And I think that definitely gives you something extra to work for. And just know that you got to be on top of your game. You got to be focused and locked in every single day this summer, because there is no time for days off when you play an opponent like that.
And that with the experience that this Pirate football team has, that they certainly won't go in intimidated or anything. It's going to be that to me, that's going to be a war.
Yeah, I don't think our kids, they view it as a challenge.
Yeah.
Our guys view it as a challenge, and they're excited about it. And they're ready to go play it and be in front of our crowd, in front of Pirate Nation, and go see what happens.
After the spring game on Saturday, of course, Coach Houston had a little ceremony on the field with the rings, and that was really cool. And just to see, and I don't think I've seen this before with a team. I've seen lots of Pirate teams get lots of rings, especially in baseball, but the emotions out there, it was really, some of those guys were just overcome with it, because I don't know if they didn't expect it to look as good as it looked or what it was. And Coach Houston said it, a lot of times you probably won't get a ring, for just making a bowl game.
Right.
But this time, you made a bowl game, and as he said, and we were there together around Christmas and Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, that team was locked in. That team was going to put a hurting on somebody.
You remember those last couple of practices we had before the game got canceled?
Yeah.
It was like, hey, our guys are ready. They're locked in. They're ready to go play. And they're not ready to go play, but go win the game.
Right.
And we felt really good about that in the preparations. And I think, as you mentioned, I think sometimes you have to get to those points before you can take the next step.
Yep.
Some of us have opened those boxes and seen the rings in there before, but for our players, not a lot of those guys have done that ever.
That's right.
And just saying it, got a little taste of that, and hopefully that keeps us hungry to kind of take the next step.
I was standing there when Holton Ahlers opened his up, and he had tears in his eyes, and it was like, this is really, this is really cool, and he's got a chance to get another one.
Well, you think what those guys have been through and persevered through for this program, and how they've changed things around and just really established a new culture here. That's really special.
Blake Harrell, our guest, live in the studio. We'll take your questions and comments on our Facebook live feed. If you have some, we'll take a commercial break. We'll come back with the Pirate defensive coordinator coming up after this.
Hi, Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and this is a Pirate Radio Sports Break presented by Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville. The Pirates were shut out yesterday at Clark LeClaire Stadium, losing to Wichita State 5-0. The Shockers' Cameron Bye threw 8 shutout innings for the win. The Pirates do win the series 2-1. ECU is 18-15, 4-2 in AAC play in second place, trailing Tulane and UCF. Pirates are at Elon tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. The Orioles were also shut out yesterday in a game heard on Pirate Radio 8-0. Corey Kluber 4 2/3 shutout innings for Tampa Bay. Tyler Wells the loss for the O's. Nationals over the Mets 4-2. Nelson Cruz a Washington home run, number 450 in his career. And the Braves lost to the Reds 6-3. Rookie Hunter Green his first big league win for Cincinnati. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break. Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. Football, basketball, baseball, and hockey players go from college to the pros, but how about this sport or entertainment? The story is next.
I'm Clip Brock.
I'm Chandler Honeycutt.
I'm Shirley Rhodes.
Join us every weekday from 3 to 6 for Pirate Radio Live.
We'll keep you up to date on everything going on with ECU athletics and make you a winner each and every day when we open up the Pirate Radio Booty Bag.
You can hear the show streaming online, on radio, and on social. Catch us weekdays on Pirate Radio Live from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
The WWE is getting in on NIL. The wrestling organization has signed 16 college athletes to deals, including 6 football players. Pro wrestling is just like other sports. There's a development facility in Orlando, and then the minor leagues, and then the big leagues, the stuff you see on television. And just like football, basketball, baseball, and hockey, it's tough to make the big time. Guys like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson played football at Miami, Big E at Iowa, and Stone Cold Steve Austin at North Texas. So there is a real history of guys going from the gridiron to the squared circle. But this is the new wave, and give Vince McMahon and the WWE credit, NIL is alive and thriving in professional wrestling too. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
This is ECU assistant football coach Roy Tesh, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community-owned utilities mean local control, low rates, and high reliability. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to The Brian Bailey Show on this Monday, taking your questions and comments on our Facebook Live feed. We've got a first question coming in. Wanted to know, who was the surprise defensive player of the spring for you guys this year?
Yeah, I think we had a bunch of guys who turned in some really good performances this spring and continue to get better every single day. Then the kid we were talking about in our defensive meeting this morning was DeMel Hickman.
Yeah.
Jaquan McMillan's gone, and we moved some guys around a little bit. Jawan Powell gets banged up early in the spring, and DeMel Hickman got a lot of snaps, and he might have been our third or fourth corner last year and maybe playing the best out wide right now and doing a really nice job out there. So just really proud of him and everything that he's been through here, and he's been here a while and done a really nice job this spring.
He led the tackle sheet, right, on the stat sheet?
Yeah, I don't know, as a linebacker coach, maybe defense coordinator, you don't want to see your corner and be the leading tackler, but not just proud of him, though. I mean, it just shows you he's not just a guy that's going to play the ball in the air, but he's not scared to get his nose bloody, we say, and stop the run in there. So does a good job with all those things.
As far as some of the other players, I mean, we were talking about a kid that's really close to all of us because he played at South Central with Jeremy Lewis. I mean, here's a guy who came in, and sometimes guys get lost in the shuffle, and then he was in the tight end room out of necessity because he can play anywhere. I mean, he can play offense, defense. Both. And Coach K may try to get it back over there, but he's really a talented player.
He's very talented. I don't think when he was at tight end knew exactly how talented he was.
Right.
And we moved into defense. Last spring he was limited, had a little injury, a little banged up, and then had a really good fall. And then this spring, it's just been, lights out, and just I think he's feeling comfortable. He's feeling at home with the position, and not only that, he's kind of setting, the tempo and the energy for our defense. He brings a little something there too as well. So just, looking forward to him, and how much better he can get between now and the fall, and just seeing what he can do this fall.
Do you have some players that you haven't had a chance to work with yet that will come in late? And I know the transfer portal is always open. Are you looking for some players there? And I know you can't be specific on some of that, but are you still looking for guys?
Well, I think you're always looking to add to your roster and how much, what can we do to make our program, our football team better between now and game one. And so you're always looking for, different ways you can do that, whether it's through adding a guy to your roster or just moving a guy around, wherever it may be. So you're always looking at those possibilities. And as far as, incoming freshmen that we signed, I think Siobhan Rebel is a corner from the JUCO Lewisburg, an older guy that, you hope to come in, and he's a longer guy that gives us some depth at corner. And we got a couple more freshmen coming in as well. Chandre Mims' brother, CJ.
Oh, yeah.
He's been coming to practice and scrimmages and looks really good. So, if he's got that same motor Chandre is, you would think he could help you right away, too.
Is it a challenge to kind of have to wait for some of those guys? I mean, or do you have in your head, like, okay, when we get all our parts, we'll be that much better off?
Yeah, I think sometimes, when a guy comes in, you got to be patient with him. You can't, a new system, how they going to adjust to your culture. College football for some of them, they're in a high school, and maybe they're, it's not the same practice atmosphere, so to speak. So they got to get accustomed to all those things. But you would like for some of those guys to step up and surprise you and be able to help you out come fall.
With the young players, do you still see what they used to call the I-95 eyes? And they want to get back to the other side of 95 if they get a little homesick.
We've been very blessed and very fortunate.
Yeah.
Just the guys that they really seem to want to be here and seem to be very happy and in a good place. I've been places where we used to call it the midnight train, where they would take off.
That sounds like something out of Yellowstone. Take the train, take the midnight ride, and you're never coming back. But some guys, and it's an adjustment, even for the JUCO transfers who've played sometimes, in college atmosphere. But this atmosphere is different than what they've seen before, and the key to whether they're going to contribute or not is how quickly they get acclimated.
Right. There's no question. Just every program's different, every school's different, every level's different, and obviously we play at a high level in the American Conference, and guys coming in, the quicker they can pick those things up, and one young man has done a really nice job of it is J.D. Lampley, who should be getting ready for his senior prom right now, was a mid-year enrollee from Richmond County, and just playing really well up front for us.
And that's got to be an advantage when those guys come in early.
It is, and just not only with the weight room, spring ball, academics, it just gets me so far ahead. So it's been a really good move.
Yeah. Blake Harrell, defensive coordinator, joining us as we wrap up the spring football game. He kind of talked a little bit about the fact that after this, the guys will go into their summer conditioning. And with Big John and summer conditioning in eastern North Carolina, I mean, Big John's got a little bit of an advantage because he got that natural heater out there because it is going to be hot.
Yeah, you can turn the heat up on them pretty quick, just naturally, and take them outside and get them going. So, he does a great job in the weight room, just summer conditioning and putting strength on, increasing speed, all those type of things.
And you said you guys will get a little hands-on. How does that work?
Yeah, in the past, they've it's always just been meetings and some skill development on the field. I think they're trying to change that. We won't know for sure quite yet. I think the FOC, the football committee or whatever it is, meets and has a final vote on that. But it's looking like it's going to go that way.
Yeah. That'll be good to get back out there and have a little bit of a chance. You talked a little bit about the indoor, the need for an indoor facility, and I know the plans are, to get that thing cranked up as soon as possible. On one side, you kind of see you go through a pandemic and the money and that kind of thing, but you got to have money to be able to build something like that. On the other hand, it's a necessity, isn't it?
Oh, no doubt. And here's what I see: not only for we're missing on practice because of lightning. Well, what about in the summer when a kid just wants to get out of the heat and go work on his skills? Or I see our guys. When I first got here, I never saw our guys out on the turf working, practicing, throwing the ball around. They're out there all the time now, and I just can't help but think if we had an indoor, how much more they'd use it, how many more guys would be in there, and not just our guys, but maybe a little bit of everybody in in the whole athletic program. So it could be a huge advantage and just for our student athletes.
And I know it's a sense of pride too. I think that, you kind of look around the state, and most everybody's gotten gotten one. So
definitely look around, and
you got to catch up a little bit, and that can hurt you in recruiting. I don't know if it does yet, but down the road, the sooner the better for that.
Yeah, it's definitely talked about in recruiting. I mean, you hear those recruits, and it's easier for one school to say, "Oh, we got one," they don't have one up there, and then what it kind of puts you behind a little bit.
When you look at what this defense has to do to be successful come September, when you guys get to August, what are some of the things you work on from day one?
You got to get back into, because sometimes when you slip away, and you saw it Saturday, I thought we played with pretty good effort and energy and the way we want to play the game. Sometimes when you slip away from practice for a couple months, you can let bad habits or just get out of the routine. So we got to get back to that. And then we just got to get back to playing our physical brand of football.
This Pirate team in past years, they've had years where they struggled tackling. It hasn't been that way lately. Is there something that you guys do to make sure that the team is a good tackling team? Because that's one of the things you hear. 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, it's like, hey, they can't tackle anybody. But this team, you don't hear that.
Yeah, we were watching film this morning, and we're talking about somebody. I think it was Miles actually went and he took the shot on Rajay and made him stop his feet. Well, the rest, we're pursuing the football, and it's an easy tackle for the next guy.
Yeah,
and you're talking about he missed a tackle, but the next guy in made it for maybe another yard. So,
right.
And I think the guys have really done a nice job of just don't stop their feet, going and taking shots, and really just playing chin out of their toes, as Coach Houston would say, and that's been helped us tackle.
I would say, as far as the defense goes, playing against the offense that East Carolina has to help you guys. You look at the running backs that East Carolina has with Rajay and with Keaton Mitchell. I mean, those two guys, they're as good as we've had here as a tandem, I think, forever probably.
There's no doubt. They stress you every single snap.
Yeah.
I mean, when they're back there, you better honor the run. You better be sound in the run game. They can take it to the house at any time. And Holton Ahlers is as good a quarterback as there is in our league. I mean, I don't think he gets credit for everything he does. Because,
right.
If you get in the wrong defense, he's going to check them in the right play, and he's going to hurt you. So you got to be very careful with that.
Yeah, and he did a little bit of that on Saturday, and he was joking on the sidelines about I told you before about the defense. They're yelling screen, 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 and they knew it was coming. But I think offensively that we're going to see more screens and that type of thing to get the football to a Keaton Mitchell and to a Rajay Harris, because you got to get those guys the ball.
Yeah, that would be my plan. If I think
you're on that side.
I agree with you. I want them to score a bunch of points and do it slowly as possible. That way, it's less snaps for the defense. That's the big thing for me.
The upcoming season with 4 home games to start. Have you ever been a part of a season, whether you were playing or coaching or anything like that, with 4 home games to start?
No, first time. So yeah, it's exciting though.
Yeah. I mean, that's another reason that you got to get off to a good start, because you got all those home games, you got to take advantage of them, but it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, people remember how you play at home, and that's how you open up the season. And we got that starting 4 games right off the bat, and so we got to make sure each week we bring our A game.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. You got State as a non-conference opponent. I'm going off the top of my head. You got Old Dominion game 2 and Campbell in game 3. Yep. Then you start conference play in game 4.
With Navy.
That's right. It is Navy. They're easy to defend. You don't have to worry about those guys. They don't have much offensively. They don't do anything different, do they? Yeah.
Nah.
That was fun at Navy this past year, because East Carolina has had so just a lack of success against Navy, but playing them this past year, and that was an up and down game. And I think you guys played a really good defensive game against them, but it was a really good game.
Yeah, I think a couple of things of that Navy game. It was their senior night, and I don't think they'd lost a senior.
They hadn't.
In like
You're
17
right.
years, something crazy. And I think they take their game to just a new level for you. But I think that we had some ups and downs in that game, as you mentioned. I thought the second half was really. I think we shut them out except for one play in the second half. I wish they got a long run out on us, but it's like you said, they do so many things differently than everybody else in your league that when they're at the end of your schedule, it's hard to keep up with that throughout the season because you're worried about all the other opponents. And I think at the beginning of the schedule, it may be, we'll keep going through it from fall camp, summer stuff, will work through it. So it may work out a little bit better at the beginning as well.
Yeah, I would say playing Navy, and historically, it looks like the earlier you play them, the better it is, because they've had some struggles in their opening games.
Yeah, they definitely get better throughout the year. I think if you look historically, like you said, their schedule, they're better at the end of the season. So hopefully that continues for them.
All right, against Navy last year, you're in the booth. What were you thinking when Owen went out for a 54-yard field goal attempt?
Hey, I thought that was our best opportunity to win the game, and I was glad to see it go through the uprights.
Oh man, that was one of those moments that you just never forget. But that was he blasted that kick, and that was
awesome.
It was one of those cold nights. It wasn't necessarily that cold, but it was one of those colds that you're not used to yet because the time of year it was, and then it's coming off the water in Annapolis, so it was a little bit cool. But yeah, he kicked that thing through, and that was one of those big wins for East Carolina last year. And you have to have those kinds of wins, and the Memphis game. The 2-point conversion. I mean, that was classic.
We just did a thing in practice last week where we caught 7 shots and we got 7 2-point plays. And our guys are all bought into that right now because of the Memphis game and what that meant and what that game not only did it mean a win at Memphis, but what it meant for our program.
What are you thinking when you see Memphis is going to go for 2? And I remember talking to some of you guys afterwards that we were prepared. We were ready for that particular play, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah, our players probably felt better than I did. When you're up in the box, you make your call, you think you're prepared and think you're ready, but you never know. I mean, it comes down to one play. A whole ball game comes down to one play. You get a little uptight.
When you see it, as it's going, is it like it's in slow motion to you?
Yeah. All you can hope.
Like, hurry up and finish.
Yeah, get him on the ground, throw the ball in there, out of bounds, do something, and do it quick. So your heart stops for a few seconds there.
That's funny. We're glad your heart continued on. We love having you here at East Carolina. Blake Harrell, defensive coordinator. We'll take a commercial break right now. We'll come back. We'll take more of your questions and comments on our Facebook Live feed and talk more Pirate defense, wrapping up the spring game with Blake Harrell after this.
When a storm hits, you can count on Greenville Utilities. They put their emergency storm plan into action to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. If you experience an outage, call them toll-free at 1-855-767-2482. The automated hotline can handle a large number of calls at once, virtually eliminating busy signals, so help can be on the way as fast as possible. Remember, GUC's emergency hotline number is 1-855-767-2482.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
The Angus Grill is your premier spot for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, and brisket sandwiches around. Join us for our unmatched variety of burger combinations, from the mushroom bacon Swiss burger to the jalapeno popper burger to the original Angus classic. Pair that burger with our amazing onion rings, tots, fries, or sweet potato fries. Angus Grill, with 4 amazing locations in eastern North Carolina, including Winterville near Pitt Community College, on Jarvis Street in uptown Greenville, and on Statensburg Road near the hospital. It's the best burger around, guaranteed.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft and Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
In studio with Gloria from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Gloria, what is cryotherapy?
Cryotherapy is when your body is exposed to extremely cold but therapeutic temperatures for several minutes. It has many benefits, including decreased pain, decreased inflammation, increased energy, and improved overall wellness. That's why at Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, we offer a wide variety of services, including cryotherapy. So whether you're an athlete or whether you just want to give your health a boost, cryotherapy will help to ensure that you're feeling great and living well. So come chill with us and you'll be back for more.
This is CJ Mayhew, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community owned, community powered. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to the show. Blake Harrell, defensive coordinator at East Carolina, is our guest live here in the studio, taking your questions and comments on our Facebook Live page. Want to wrap up our second chance with the Sweet 16 contest. Excuse me. And our winner is our good friend, one of our guest pickers, Brian Meador. He had all four of the Final Four teams right. He had Kansas to play in the finals, and of course, Kansas went on to win the championship game. But he gets a full detail from our good friends at Greenville Auto World. He's getting a couple of Pirate Radio T-shirts, the white ones and the military greens, and he's got pizza for a month from Papa John's, so we'll get that to my good friend Brian Meador. And second place, this young man got two of the Final Four correct and had Kansas to win it all, and our second place goes to Mr. Clip Brock. Yeah, you already knew that? You were already celebrating back there. I didn't even tell you. I was trying to surprise you.
Had the Jayhawks.
Congratulations. Yeah. So congratulations. And I don't think you have a Pirate Radio
what
T-shirt.
did I get, by the way?
Pirate Radio T-shirt. So
great.
That's all you get. You might talk to Meador. He might give you one of those Papa John's pizzas, but
all right.
I'm not sure if
I'll say something nice about the Cowboys to him.
Well, you should. You should always say something nice about the Cowboys, because Mike Houston's a big Cowboy. Is Blake Harrell a big Cowboy fan?
Not a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
I grew up a Falcons fan. Then when the Panthers came along, became a
you're a Panther fan.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, you can join the Washington Commodores and with their losing efforts and be right along with them. Just kidding.
Everything you say, I write down.
I know. My Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in a long, long time. In fact, the other day on YouTube, I watched the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl just to cheer for my team again with some success.
Rainy. Was that in black and white?
That was Fred Flintstone carved it out on a big rock and let us see it. All right, let's talk Pirate defense and talk Jaquan McMillan, who obviously leaves the program. He's had a couple of those visits with NFL teams, those 30 visit deals.
Yeah.
How high can he go in the draft, do you think?
Well, I knew just had some interest last week and was out visiting a couple different couple teams there, and just really excited for Jaquan and just really proud of what he did for us here at Pirate Nation and for our football program. Just the young man he is and how he handles things. We'd all love to have him back and be around him for another year and see him playing Dowdy Ficklin, but we're just wishing him the best. And anything can happen on those draft nights.
I know
one or two guys fall here, or something comes negative out about a certain young man. Maybe Jaquan will get a chance to move up, or whatever it may be. But I think he's certainly going to get an opportunity, and we all know that he's going to make the best of it.
I can't remember a defensive back who had such a star-studded year that he had last year. I mean, just some of the big plays that he made. You can tell off the top of your head, the Marshall game. We all think about the big comeback, but think about the play of the end. You had to be a little nervous up in the booth on that last drive.
He ends the game at Marshall. He has a big pick in the Memphis game.
Right.
He picks and scores in Charleston Southern game. The Navy game on the fourth down, or I guess it's the third down. He's actually forced the fumble there that made him punt. So,
right.
Just throughout the season, he made a lot of big plays like that and stepped up in the key moments.
All right, let's go through what you've got right now for our defense. Let's go through the positions and start on the defensive line. But what are you looking at? What is in-house, ready to go, and the parts?
Yeah, the parts, and I think at filled in, just two guys that we saw all last fall that we already know about is Manny Hickman and Chad Stevens, and both do just very solid, do a good job out there. So very excited to have those guys back, and at nose guard, we've got several pieces that have played there. Elijah Morris is everybody's favorite story, but
that's a great story.
He's played both positions inside this spring, so just kind of trying to be a little bit more flexible with him. But Xavier McGyver, Deontay Johnson, they both came along this spring and had nice springs. At tackle, Rick DeBreu has been doing well. J.D. Lampley, we mentioned it earlier. Has been a freshman that you look at and you say, hey, we can count on this guy to come, play in the fall. You got Chandre Mims in that room, who's been a nice addition, and then Surad Ware. So all those guys in the middle there have been nice additions. Then outside backer, we talked about Jeremy Lewis earlier,
right,
who's playing as well as anybody in our defense, I think, right now, and doing a really nice job. And then we've added some depth right there with Jack Powers, the transfer from Nevada, who's just a really solid kid. Had a big third down stop the other day, knocked the ball down. Thought he was going to pick it, but just not only is he making himself better, our defense better, but he's we talked about competing within position rooms, and sometimes I think when it's fall camp or spring, Coach Houston talked to our guys about this the other day. the competition is not me against you. It's about us pushing each other to get better. And Jack's been one of those guys that's been able to do that. We moved Xavier Smith back to Mike full time, so he's just concentrating on Mike Backer and doing a nice job there. And you got Jacoby Simpson in the room, who's really about a fourth year guy. He's got a couple.
Xavier's about a 7-year guy.
Yeah, it feels like it some days. And then Miles Berry is playing over at Will still, and Taylor Jackson's still in that room. And then out at Sam, Gerard Stringer's done a nice job out there. And then the other Sam backer that also plays some safety this spring is Jair Wilson, and just showing he's versatile. He can play multiple spots, and some of that was just due to depth this spring and gets through some quality practices there. But just excited to have those two guys back. Demetrius Mooney had a good spring out there. Yeah. He's a guy that we were starting to say, hey, we got to get this guy on the field. We can count on him. He can bring it off the edge and do some things. So just excited about him. On the other back end, Tegan Wilkes back there, and
I like him.
Still punching footballs out. You know, he's as good as I've seen about ball carrier. He punching the ball carrier out, getting the ball loose and getting it back to the Pirates, and he continues to do that every day in practice. It's not something just shows up on Saturdays,
right?
Whether it's at Marshall or wherever it was throughout the season, but he shows up every practice, every scrimmage that we have. So he's been impressed about there. Sean Dorso still had a good spring. Julius Wood is a young man that I think had about 50, 75 snaps in the fall, and has really come on this spring of being a guy that we think can take our defense to the next level possibly.
Why is it that some guys have that knack? I mean, it's a talent, but it's also a knack, isn't it? Just to knock that ball loose and
no doubt. And we do this. We usually put this little highlight up there for our defensive unit meeting. This WWKMD's how it started. What would Khalil Mack do? And our point was, Khalil Mack's not just satisfied with getting a sack. He wants the strip sack to knock the ball out and get it back. And so at the end of the season, at the end of the spring, we started doing what would Tegan Wilk do? TWD. So, and then we talked about the corners earlier. Demel Hickman out there, and Malik Fleming's back, and just excited about those guys. Isaiah Brown Murray had a nice spring as well. So, just you got a lot of familiar names back, and that's always a good thing.
Oh yeah,
when you've got guys back that have played, have experience, and then you're adding some new guys who can come in and play with those older guys. So it's exciting.
Yeah, and I tell you, when you're looking at defensive football, and like you said, we want guys to be competitive and in practice, but it's not you against me. It's how we're going to be competing against one another to make the whole team better. Yeah, and I think that's a great concept.
And you said that about our running backs earlier. It's not defense against offense. It's if Keaton and Raji are stressing the defense, well, the defense has to play at a higher level.
Right.
If Holton Ahlers is stressing the defense has to play at a higher level, and vice versa. And we all get better, and we all improve, and we all get to where we want to be come fall.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting come fall. We're hoping, I know, I hate to even bring this up, but we're hoping that the state game is going to be like a 7 o'clock kickoff. At least that's what I'm hoping. Do you guys have a preference? Or
I think I'm with you. I think for our fans and for everybody involved there, I think a night game would be pretty cool just to be in Dowdy Ficklin.
This is going to be electric.
Yeah, and we had the South Carolina game at noon. I just didn't think that was as good as it could have been. I thought it was a great atmosphere, but I thought a night game would be even better.
A night game would be awesome. I think the folks at East Carolina are hoping for the same thing, but a lot of it's out of their hands. A lot of it deals with television, and television rules the world, as we well know.
Yeah, back in the day, you used to be able to set like, hey, we want to play at this time and this day.
That's right.
It was all in the coaches and the AD's hands. Now it's totally out of that.
It's all TV, most certainly. All right, take us through what you guys do. When you play a game on Saturday and you just came up with a big win, and you got another big game coming up the next Saturday. When you get to work on Sunday morning, what is your week like, and how do you put that game plan together with the guys and that kind of thing?
Yeah, and, like how you said, come off a big win, so the coffee always tastes better on Sunday morning.
Yes, it does.
But there's a lot goes into it, and I don't think that everybody, realizes exactly what all goes into it, because you got to get back in there Sunday morning. You're finishing out, hey, what kind of tweaks that we have from the day before that we need to kind of get fixed. What's some things that we got to take this to the next level to make us better down the road?
Who's hurt and who's not?
The injury report. There's so many little variables that go into getting prepared for the next week, and then you jump right on the next opponent. And what we have is some analysts and GAs that kind of work a week ahead always. Okay. So a lot of that stuff, leg work, breakdowns is already done. So as as a defense coordinator, just walk in, it's like, hey, here's what they do, here's their base personnel, here's their strengths, here's their weaknesses. And then you kind of take that and you start breaking down the film as well and watching it and kind of developing a game plan. And we try to get our game plan, our guys early in the week, Monday, Tuesday at the latest, just so our guys can feel really comfortable with it come later in the week, and they get a chance to, for whatever new wrinkles we have going in, they get a chance to look at it, Monday, practice it Tuesday, practice it Wednesday. By Thursday, Friday, they feel really comfortable with it.
And sometimes and correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes you look at teams and you're going to blitz, X amount of times or about that. And sometimes you're looking at, blitz may not be the best way to go with that. So it kind of fluctuates, doesn't it?
No doubt. What is your opponent? What do they handle really well? What are you trying to take away? We always say take away their fastball. If that was their best pitch, take that away. And what can you do defensively to take that fastball away, make them go to their second and third pitch or their second and third option?
So as a coaching staff with the defense, do you guys sit around, after you look at film and that kind of thing, and then everybody has their own ideas and you kind of put it together?
Yeah, I think a lot of staffs do it differently. Sometimes it's just all the coordinator, or maybe they divide things up, and we kind of do it collectively. We'll break it up as far as one coach may have a certain area of the game, maybe a red zone or short yardage or third and long, but then we'll all get the back together and kind of discuss our thoughts and what we see, and kind of put some thoughts together. Then, usually they look at me when I come in there with about 10 different things to do, and they'll say, we can't do all that. And then, we'll all go home and sleep on it. And by the next morning, we throw some of it out, take some of it in, and kind of develop it from there.
And they come out and say, Coach, on third and long, they like to do a 5-step drop or 7-step drop, drop back, and I think we can blitz the corner on that. Right. That's the kind of thing they come up with.
No doubt. Like, hey, this cover is going to look really good, or let's see if we can, bring this trap pressure, or hey, I think we can man these guys up, or hey, this quarterback's Ritter can get out on us and run a little bit. We better have a spy guy for him in this situation, or hey, here's a screen, on this certain distance, the screen shows up, so let's make sure we're screen sound in this area.
Same thing, like they like to run a draw in this situation. They ran it 48% of the time on third and less than 7 yards, and the analytics are just crazy.
It's a huge analytic game, and it's so key right now, and our guys do a great job with that. And then you also got to take into your experiences too. Hey, that may be the analytics, but why were they doing that? Because maybe they were up 3 scores and they were just trying to take care of the football.
And we talked to Donnie Kirkpatrick a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about how the analytics have changed on fourth down. Yeah. And it affects, like a defensive coordinator, if it's 3rd and 7, it kind of affects what you guys do, because if they go less than 3rd and 4, they're going to go for it on 4th down. So it kind of changes your play calling, doesn't it?
No doubt. Well, let's talk about Navy for a second. Right. Navy on 3rd and 7, that's just another down for them. That's right. Because if they get it to 4th and 3, they're definitely going. And there's so many more offenses if they're taking that philosophy that, hey, if we can get to a manageable 4th down, so it keeps you from on 3rd down from just playing pass, rush the quarterback and pass defense. It makes you be a little bit more sound in the run game.
When you get to 4th down, say it's 4th and 4, and you look up and they're going to go for it, you feel like, hey, come on now, we stopped you 3 downs. What's the deal with that?
I kind of get excited about it.
Do you?
Yeah,
that's the other way to look at it. Yeah, I guess so.
Because it's an opportunity, and we treat 4th downs like your 4th down stop is like a turnover.
Right.
If we get you stopped on 4th down, you're just turning the ball over to us. So we count that as a turnover in our room.
And the other side, we haven't really talked about special teams, but all of your defensive players, do you like your starters playing on special teams?
Yeah, most definitely. I tell our guys, like, hey, we want to go find as many ways to win the game as possible. If that means, hey, we got to be if we're on 4 special teams, let's play on 4 special teams. And if you got the right mindset, you got the right mentality, you want to be on the field. You want to go affect the game on kickoff, punt block, kickoff return. And, so our guys have done a really nice job of buying into that. Coach Dowse and those guys, our staff and Coach Houston do a really nice job with our special teams. So just really excited about that.
And I know you guys have talked about it, endlessly, but really when you guys hunker down during the season, you guys as a coaching staff, it's like a family, and you're going to have disagreements from time to time, but it always ends up that it's a family, and you guys always get it. You got to be together as one.
Yeah,
there's no egos.
Yeah, you can sit in that room and you can have disagreements and different thoughts, and that's the great thing about not only a football coaching staff or is a football program. Hey, when you walk out on that field, or you walk out of that office or out of that locker room, everybody's on the same page. Everybody's pulling in the same direction. And the teams that can do that and the programs can do that are successful.
What's it like for you as a coach when you jog out on the field at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium? You're down there for warm-ups because you usually go up. You're upstairs, but when you see the team run out, what are you feeling?
Yeah, even last Saturday, just to walk in Dowdy Ficklin and see fans in there, and it's just such a special environment. And to me, I was always the kid that grew up wanting to be in those big time atmospheres, and Dowdy Ficklin is that. And so it's been an awesome experience, and just been awesome for me and my family to be here in Greenville and be a part of Pirate Nation and be part of those experiences.
I think we told you a couple of years ago when you first got here, but Greenville's kind of a special place, and especially when you're raising a family. And you got a couple, 3 girls out there playing softball right now, and that'll keep you. That'll keep one of you busy.
Yeah, just keep my wife busy, and I enjoy going out there. And I think the nice thing I've always told people the nice thing about having daughters as a football coach, you don't expect them to be that competitive. You just enjoy it. So it's kind of a little break, you don't have to, you're not uptight about it. But my wife, she's a former college athlete, so everything is like 4th and 1 for her when we go out there. If they're not in the right stance, if they're not, whatever the technique with the swing they're supposed to be using. For me, I just like, hey, I'm just glad you're having a good time and glad you're out here, and but so it's a little bit difference of opinions there.
That's good. Mom will get them straight. I've told this story before, but when my daughter was born, I had a baseball, a basketball, and a football all in the crib, thinking you were having a boy. Yeah. So I had to take the walk of shame and took it out. But my daughter ended up she played at Sarah Law for years. She was on the first 2 Babe Ruth World Series championship team in 2000. And it was so much fun to watch. But and I always think back to when my kids were playing, it's like you try not to be that dad, but I got a bad feeling I was that dad a lot of times. And I didn't mean to be, but it's just, when you're going through it one time, and then now I look back and I'm like, well, why is he saying get your hands on the bat? Why is he saying do this, do that? And I was the same way. So I'm like your wife. I'm probably doing the same exact thing, trying to get that thing figured out.
I just try to be the good cop, the good dad, and just let her be the bad.
Get ice cream afterwards. All that stuff.
Hey, whatever.
Here you go. Blake Harrell, defensive coordinator, joining us live in the studio. We'll take our final break, and then we'll wrap things up with Coach Harrell and get you set for next week on the Brian Bailey Show right after this.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar with daily specials. And here's the lineup. Mondays feature $7 margaritas and half-price appetizers. Tuesday is stuffed seafood night. Wednesday is date night. Thursday is roasted smoked lamb chop night. Fridays is prime rib night. And Saturday is Italian night and is also Fred and Wilma night with our 36-ounce bone-in tomahawk steak just like the Flintstones. And on Sunday, it's our legendary brunch from 10 to 2. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
Before you hit the road this travel season, be sure to get your tires inspected by the tire guys at Greenville Auto World. The Greenville Auto World service team sells all the top brands and economy tires if you need a new set. Need an oil change, state inspection, or AC repair? Greenville Auto World can work on any type of vehicle, and the monthly oil change special is only $29.99. Make an appointment now by calling 364-8730. For award-winning service, trust Greenville Auto World.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville, do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers. I'm gonna play some kickball.
Let's go! Robbie's Clubhouse invites you to play a little kickball on Saturday, April 23rd from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Sarah Law softball fields located on Reedy Branch Road in Winterville. The event is open to everyone of all ages. Come join the fun while helping the special needs community by joining us in some friendly kickball to benefit Robbie's Clubhouse on Saturday, April 23rd.
Do
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in Eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, providing reliable utility solutions to the Greenville region since 1905. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. Wrapping things up with Blake Harrell, East Carolina defensive coordinators. The Pirates have 7 of 11 starters returning from last year, and with some of the other parts that you have, you got to really feel good about this defense.
You do. Just we're so far ahead. We're when I first got here.
Oh man,
and, just. Still got a lot of work to do. Still got to have a great summer and a great August, because you can put, certainly if you don't do the things you need to do this summer and this August, you can put yourself behind. So we got to keep working every day. You can't have any days off. As you mentioned earlier, our first opponent was going to keep you on your toes for that. But just the experience we have back and the guys out there is. Now you feel like, hey, we got guys out there that can run the defense and run the show. And, there was a perfect example on Saturday. We made a call, and they get a different formation that we were expecting, and the kids weren't used to that. So they just checked the defense to a totally safe call. And, hey, I tell them, if we're all wrong, we're all right. We're all on the same page, then we're going to be okay. And you feel really good about that experience coming back.
And Coach Houston talks about that a lot, and Donnie Kirkpatrick does too, having a guy like Holt Naylor's doing the same type thing. I mean, when they're that experienced, it's almost like you've got a couple on defense that are almost just like coaches on the field.
Yeah, no doubt. And they've played a lot of football now. And they've played, 2 years for you in the same program, same defense, and they feel really comfortable with it about doing those things. So that makes a world of difference.
Do you remember when you first came to Greenville and turned that film on from the year before, just to kind of look at what you were getting into? Did you get a little nervous?
Yeah, you tried not to watch much of that film, and not in a negative way.
Right.
And I say that just because you didn't want.
But it's just different.
Yeah, you don't want to take a young man what he did the year before in a different defense for different, and take it to. Have a preconception opinion about the kid. You want to give them a clean slate and start over, and I think for some of our guys that's been huge, and just building confidence in them and letting them know that, one, you care about them, and two, you believe in them, and just watch them take off from there.
And successful defenses, are defenses that don't have to think.
Yeah.
Right. You make the call, and everybody knows exactly what to do when everything happens, and they're just flying around to the ball.
They react and go play.
Right.
And I think you mentioned earlier they were prepared for that 2-point play at Memphis. So that's what happened. They had confidence. They were prepared, and they didn't have to think. They just go play fast and was able to win the game there.
Yeah, and we talked about that 2-point play. When the whole game comes down to one play, the thing that would go through my mind is like, I hope they do something that we've seen before, because if they do something crazy, and we've seen 2-point plays throughout the years, but you guys hit the jackpot with that one.
Yeah, it worked out really well for us.
Yeah, that was the Memphis game last year that came down to that 2-point conversion. Pirates with 4 games at home to start the season, and Coach talked about that earlier, but it's really a novelty.
Yeah, and I think in a good way, like just an opportunity for us to, you always feel like you play better at home sometimes than you do on the road. So it's a huge advantage there, and just a chance for our fans to embrace this program, and our program embrace our fans and all that, to be together and experience it all together.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun when the season starts. And as you said, right now the guys will go into the summer conditioning a little bit. They'll get some time off later on, but the August will be here before you know it.
Yeah, it'll be. I think I read like 150 days, give or take a little bit, the other day, which that's not long.
Yeah, it's not long at all, especially when you're preparing for a college football season. But it'll be all college football seasons in Greenville are just a blast, and just everybody just loves to go to the games. It's something that it's part of the fabric of this community. It's what we do in the fall, and I think that means a lot to all the coaches and all the players, and they all understand that.
No doubt, and it's something you don't really understand until you come experience it, until you're a part of it, and just knowing what ECU, East Carolina football means to this community, this part of the state. It's just really special, and how important football is here. It's not like that anywhere else in the state, but it's important here, and it matters.
It most certainly does. It certainly matters. Coach, thanks so much for the time. We certainly appreciate it. We hope you get some steak and shrimp tonight because you deserve it after that outing in the spring football game this past week.
We'll see what Coach Houston says, but I appreciate you having me on.
All right, Blake Harrell, defensive coordinator, joining us. That is our show for today. Have yourself a great sports week, and we'll see you back here next week on The Brian Bailey Show. So long, everybody.
Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, Papa John's, The Gavigan Agency, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagler, Tiebreakers, and Greenville Auto World.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington.